What's up, my people? How now do waiting they happen within this up? Let me read this. Mohbad's wife actually shared this recently. So here's the caption. My father-in-law's lawyer is threatening to take my son out of the way. Mohbad's widow, Wunmi, cries out to Nigerians. First, I want to commend Mohbad's wife for speaking out. She's very outspoken now, and I think that this is, the perfect way to handle this. Now, the father, that's Mohbad's father, have been granting interviews upon interviews, and at some point I felt, isn't this lady going to come out and defend herself? And because she's not talking, people were getting the wrong notion of the whole thing, right? So she started, sharing her mind, even not just granting interviews, right? She uses her platforms now to share her thoughts, to fight people that are attacking her. She stood her ground. I commend her, right? Which is amazing. But this part, when I saw it, I was like, what does she mean by the lawyer, the father's lawyer? Because she had made reference to something concerning that in one of the interviews, but she never really elaborates on it. Now, let me read what she said. Ayodele Famuyiwa has threatened to take Liam out of the way. He is my father-in-law's power of attorney. Nigerians, please help me to beg my father-in-law to do DNA, if not for anything but for the sake of Mohbad. I've been ready since 2023. So she's been ready since 2023. Like I said, I feel like people were getting the wrong notion of everything. I wouldn't blame people for thinking maybe she's refusing to go for a DNA test. And she never really, shared that or talked about that. But yeah, because if you're ready at the time that a lot of Nigerians are saying, go for it, like, it's very easy. Put it boldly there. I am ready to do a DNA test. That alone is enough, right? But she said she had to summon the courage, which I understand. Everybody go through these phases and stuff. But let me continue. I didn't just have the courage to speak up because of how he has used the media to attack my son and I. Liam doesn't deserve to go through this. He knows once the DNA is done, he will be left with no choice than to bury my husband. And there's another thing that she said, which I had talked about in the video. I'm going to address that situation like bit by bit, right? The man was trying to, that's what she said, according to her, was trying to protect himself. His own lawyer had sent their own lawyer a message or a letter saying that if it's negative, like if it turns out that, Mohbad is not the father of this child, you have to sign that you won't sue me, or I won't be taken to court. That is him trying to protect himself. Let us continue. I still have more stuff to say. And to those asking why I am just speaking up now, it took everything in me to get to this point. 17 months of relentless bullying. The strength I have gathered isn't easy to rebuild. My husband deserves to rest. There is no genuine reason why he's still at the morgue. I'm telling you, I still don't get it, because look at where we are. The case is in limbo. It's like it's not going anywhere. Family, they are fighting. The families, they are fighting. It's like there's no progress even after several months. This guy don't die. It's been a while since he died. And no solution. Even in the families, no peace in the family. Mohbad, his spirit safe. I don't want to say that he's not resting in peace, but do you think he's resting in peace? Like, for real? You think he's resting in peace? No, I doubt. Now, she had posted it. She said, anyone that knows, she posted I think the lawyer's picture. Said authorities in United States should please text me. Is he in United States? He threatened he was going to harm us tonight. And this is the lawyer? How can a lawyer threaten on his TikTok show? And my father-in-law was on that listening to it. If anything happens to me or Liam, if Famuyiwa should be held responsible. Is my father-in-law's adopted brother. He lives in the US. Is presently on TikTok live. She said the new people will stand by Liam once the result is out. They are working together with my father-in-law to make life unbearable for my son and I. Please help me. My silence is not helping the situation. Anyways, that is it about the whole Mohbad situation. And guys, I don't want to say on the lighter note, so let me chip this particular video in. Ayo Adesoya, she's well known in the industry, a veteran, a very good actress, and she granted an interview recently. She was interviewed by Trude, a very good interviewer, and she shared in that interview that her ex-husband almost killed her and even, kidnapped their child, right? Yeah. Although they were able to retrieve the child, they all went to the police station, settled it there, but it was like, crazy for her. Even after being, I just want to say this, you just wouldn't know what these actresses are going through. Once they get married, there's always a problem. I don't know why. Why do actresses face problems? Like, the face is like you have to, it's like you have to be specially blessed to have a good husband and understanding husband as an actress. This one even have somebody in the game. So they didn't really marry. I don't know why they put here ex-husband, but they were living together. So more like, husband and wife, but I don't think they are legally married. Right? And I went to check this man. I was like, oh, so is this man? So are you this one actually like, I'm sorry, but that guy is a producer, but I just feel like I don't know, at that time, she's beautiful, gorgeous, like, you went for this man and he's beating you. Most of you understand what I'm trying to say. Let me not say it, but he said that, they ask her, okay, did you try, like, another relationship? Did you try to get into another relationship? She said that some powerful people came to snatch the man from her. So who is she referring to? She's referring to girls. These girls are powerful, and if you checked, it might be like a younger lady.
I was so depressed. I did not even know it was depression. I started drinking. I buy a bottle of brandy, go to a corner and drink. I just want to be numb.
In public, people watching you beating you.
Sometimes I wear glasses and people think, it's fashion.
It's fashion, no. They try to hide the bruises.
There was one time on location, Batola was there. We were filming. I went home to pick something. When I got back, I had gotten my beating.
So there was abuse in this relationship?
Yes, there was. And this is the first time I'll be talking about it like this. But I really have to talk about it because I actually stayed in that relationship because I didn't want people to blame me. I took my son to Ibadan. So, okay, you just keep this boy for me for a while till I'm settled so that I can bring him back and to settle him into school.
Yeah.
He went to Ibadan and kidnapped the boy. Before morning, my phone wanted to break it.
Yeah, he was calling.
Oh my goodness, I was just dancing. I was dancing myself.
What happens to marriage after that? Did that turn you off?
The truth is, I was in a relationship with somebody else after that.
Right.
I gave it another chance. And some powerful people came and they snatched the man.
Speaking about that, the Sophia Bonner boy situation is gone. I intentionally didn't talk about it because it's all about Olusho and stuff. And these days people are very sensitive, so you just need to be sometimes careful. I knew that if I talk about that, like if I share my opinion, I might step on some toes. Sometimes I just intentionally leave, things like that. But Daddy Freeze shares mileage on Sophia's Lamborghini. Yes. Now, this actually triggers reactions. Like, look at what Daddy Freeze shared. Daddy Freeze is not well at all. So you can see here, he says, congratulations. Our new Lambo has 46,433 miles. That's 74,726 kilometers. Yeah, we are winning. Somebody needs to tell Daddy Freeze that even secondhand is still expensive. Yes, although they wouldn't come out and tell us that it's Tokumbo, but it's still expensive. Like, to be honest, most of the Lambos that you see, they are Tokumbo. Like, plenty pass these days. Lambo trucks, actually, But then again, how much is it? No. Because the new one, I think, is like 1.3 billion. Yeah, billion. Now, the Tokumbo, the used one that is foreign used, is 350 million naira to, I think, 600 and something million naira. It is still much. My own is, how should they get that money? It actually depends, though. In fact, there are some that you can get for, the reason why I said it depends on the year. There's 2023, there's 2020, there's 2022, but whichever one you get, it is still expensive. So, as long as is the Lamborghini truck, respect anybody that is inside the car, they have money. But what is this girl waiting be our job? I think that's the privilege ladies have over men. Like, we have to be sincere. There are some men who would, really take care of girls, spend on them well. I mean, some people call it insecurity. Just like what Mike, he said some people have low self-esteem, that to sleep with a girl, they'll spend that much.
The problem why they get on top this phone call be say, the people who still don't follow this gist the way when I follow her. Remember that video I did like 5 months ago about that boy we talk say, who does that? I did this. There are some Okwobo money misroad men in that Nigeria where we say they have very low self-esteem, where we say, not be Burna Boy, get the phone call. Burna Boy no be the main cause. People they do one for that Lagos. Where we say if they want knack babe, they go buy a car just so they can knack. They go buy a house just so they can knack. It is one of the most disturbing things I've ever heard. Very low self-esteem individual. And when being one relay one motor, ofe dobo lo buko mo wiri, ofe rale fobìnrin láti dole nkan ẹ̀yin wèrè gbogbo. Shameless men. Alright, today, ni kure.
Moving on to the next one. Here we have our boy, my guy. No, I like this guy. Peller. Peller couldn't just get his hands off this lady. I think I saw in the news is a rumor. So just ignore it. They said Peller just bought a house. I tried to confirm it. It's not confirming because, I went to Peller's page. I didn't see something like that. The videos that they were using, some of them are even promo video shared by Peller. So I don't believe it yet. But I saw that online. Well, yeah, this video is actually trending because, people are like, I can't get it. I think this is his time. Let them enjoy their relationship. They are still young. Who knows? The love might grow stronger, or they might go like this, or maybe one or two of them have ulterior motive for content and popularity. But let them enjoy this is the time to just, enjoy yourself as a young lad, make some mistakes, no matter whether you like it or not, you still make mistakes. You're not perfect. Even as an adult, you are making mistakes. He's an adult, but I'm talking about even people in their 30s, 40s, they still make mistakes. So, yeah. Moving on to the next one. Here, we have a serious situation here. Senator Natasha Akpoti went to the Senate house, the Senate building this morning, right, with her husband. And you know what's going on, those of you that watch my videos, you know what's going on between himself and the Senate president. So let me read this part, just so you know. He said the Senator Natasha Akpoti presents her petition against Senate President Godswill Akpabio over alleged sexual harassment and abuse of power. She laid the petition before the House this morning during the plenary session presided over by Akpabio himself. Why? Well, I like what the courts did do. I think I saw a report. Let me check. I think I saw a new report. Yes, this is the report actually. They said court stopped Senate from probing Natasha. Trust me, guys, a lot of people believe that the Senate president actually asked her out. Yes. Somebody that is married, like this is disgraceful actually. They said the Federal High Court in Abuja has issued an interim order restraining the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions from conducting a disciplinary proceeding against the senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti. The presiding judge, Obiora, gave the order on Tuesday, March 4, following an ex parte application filed by Akpoti. The ruling comes as the committee was set to convene and potentially impose an indefinite suspension on the senator. This interim order halts all proceedings on the matter pending further judicial review. According to the enrolled court order, the court said, upon reading the but you get the point. You see, I hope she wins this case. You know, when I say case, I'm not even talking about winning it in courts, in the court of law. What I'm trying to say is, I hope she survives this. That's all I will say. Because these are powerful men. She needs to tread carefully. I just need to be careful. I'm not talking about threat to her life. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, I'm talking about her career as well, you know. But she seemed to me like somebody that will never back down until she wins. A woman that is courageous is the most dangerous woman.
President, distinguished colleagues, I'm Senator Natasha Akpoti, and I stand to raise a petition under Order 40. A petition may only be presented to the Senate by a senator who shall affix his or her name at the beginning thereof. The petition is in my name against the President of the Nigerian Senate, His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, for sexual harassment, abuse of office, and malicious obstruction of my legislative functions. You may recall, sir, that on Friday in Arise TV, I did make some statements. And I have decided to narrow these statements in a formal petition against the President of this Senate. So if it may please you, I would humbly step forward and lay this petition.
You may proceed. Distinguished colleagues, this petition is hereby referred to the Committee on Code of Conduct, Ethics and Public Petitions to revert to the Senate as soon as practicable.
Petition.
Any other petition? Yes.
I mean, if a woman says that you're trying to lure her into your bed, accuse you of that, I'm sure she's got evidence, especially if you are, the Senate president is like number 3 citizen, the 3rd citizen of the country, I think so. A powerful person in the country, for you to be able to accuse that person, she probably have like, so what they're trying to do is shut her up. That's my thoughts. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, until we see you next time. Peace.
How are you?
Come on now. I tell you, ta kashe mutumin kenan.